Sa patuloy na paglago at paglawak ng Iglesia Ni Cristo, patuloy rin na nangangailangan ng mangangalaga at mangunguna sa mga kapatid sa bawat lokal sa buong mundo. Ito ay upang patuloy na matugunan ang mga proyekto na isinusulong ng tagapamahalang pangkalahatan ng Iglesia Ni Cristo, ang Kapatid na Eduardo V. Manalo. Sa unang pagkakataon ay nagsama-sama ang lahat ng mga pangulo ng bawat kagawaran mula sa iba't ibang distrito dito sa Pilipinas at sa ibayong dagat upang dumalo sa International Conference of CFO Leaders. Sa unang araw ay dinaluhan ng delegates ang isang tanging pagsamba na isinagawa sa gusaling sambahan ng lokal ng Cubao, Distrito Eklesyastiko ng Sentral. Pinangasiwaan ang banal na pagtitipon ni Kapatid na Angelo Eraño V. Manalo, Deputy Executive Minister ng Iglesia Ni Cristo.
I think just a reminder, even from the lesson that we received this morning po, it's like we can't be discouraged if we have suffering or problems, especially that we have, especially like in our area, for children, very easy for them to get anxious, to get very discouraged or worried. But I think bringing this back, encouraging the officers, we can do more for the children. So whatever we bring back here, we're going to use it to perform our duties better.
One thing that Brother Angelo had mentioned earlier in the worship service was that we should take care of our duty diligently. And we should be shepherds of the flock. And that really resonated with me and how we should take care of the Kadiwa back in my home district of Florida. So when I think about what he was saying, I reflect on how is it that you are performing every single day, not just for activities, but every moment.
Kasunod nito ay nagtungo sila sa EVM Convention Center para sa inihandang programa at musical performances bilang pag-welcome sa lahat ng delegates at upang magkaroon sila ng pagkakataon na makilala ang iba pang CFO leaders mula sa malalayong lugar. Labis namang ipinagpapasalamat ng mga kapatid ang makasaysayang aktibidad na ito dahil hindi lang sila nag-enjoy kundi higit sa lahat ay natuto sila ng mga karagdagang kaalaman para sa kanilang mga nasasakupan.
Nakakatulong po sa amin para mas lalo po kami ma-equip ng mga knowledge po para mas lalo po namin mabuting matupad yung mga tungkulin po namin. So ngayon po talagang natatangi po yung aktibidad, Ngayon lang po namin naranasan na yung CFO po, Buklod, Kadiwa, Binhi, pati PNK ay matipon po sa isang dako. Sama-sama pong dumalo po sa ganitong natatanging aktibidad.
With events like this, it's very inspirational, especially as the Vice President of our Kadiwa organization in our district. We were able to take many lessons because they prepared lots of seminars for our 3-day event here. So I truly feel like we're going to gain a lot of experiences that we can then take back to our own district and apply.
Sa ikalawang araw ay iba't ibang seminars para sa CFO leaders ng Buklod, Kadiwa, Binhi at pagsamba ng kabataan ang isinagawa sa Ciudad de Victoria, Bocaue, Bulacan. Iba't ibang kaalaman ng kanilang natanggap mula sa mga key speakers.
This kind of activity will really help us leading the youth as well, not only us being the leaders here right now. Of course, the application of how do we see or how do we learn from this kind of activity? Well, in fact, I am very excited on how am I going to perform now my duty when I return to my home district and how I will going to apply these learnings and also teach my fellow Kadiwa leaders in the different locals in our district. Also them embodies this kind of activities and of course the characteristics and the learnings that we have learned from here.
Some things I've learned so far, like what I said, we reflected on mental health topics, and then we've also discussed the importance of our duties as leaders. And from that, I was able to feel really strengthened in my faith, and also I was able to reflect on how I've been as a leader and what I can do moving forward to continue to help strengthen our brand.
We have already done a lot of seminars, and I have took down a lot of notes regarding on what they discussed, and I am very glad to have learned a lot. But the highlight of everything that we've learned as of now is that we should pray to God always po.
Sa huling araw ng conference, magkakasama silang nagbalik tanaw sa makulay na kasaysayan ng iglesia sa pagpasok nila sa INC Museum. Dito nakilala namin ng ilan sa mga nasa kapisan ng binhi na first time nakapasok at nakaikot dito.
Sa totoo po ay manghang-mangha po ako dahil nung bata pa lamang po ako ay aking pangarap na po ito. Kaya kanina habang nagtuturo po ay hindi po naiwasan na maiyak dahil po sa aking mga nakita at namangha na rin po.
Nung pagpunta ko po dito sa Iglesia Ni Cristo Museum po ay nasaksihan ko po ang mga kwento po ng mga naunang ministro po sa aming distrito. Katulad po ng mga pinapakita po nilang mga larawan sa amin dati ng pasugo at saka ng mga unang Biblia po na ginamit po ng sugo sa mga huling araw.
Bilang member po ng binhi organization, it is very inspiring po na makita ang sugo, kapatid na Felix, Manalo, as well as yung mga naging pagsisikap nila para pagmalasakit yung mga kapatid, yung mga nauna, at ngayon, hanggang ngayon po, kitang-kita pa rin ang talagang patuloy na pagtatagumpay mula po sa ka Felix, sa ka Eraño, sa ka Eduardo. It's very inspiring po, especially sa amin ng mga nasa panig ng mga kapisan ng binhi na talagang magagamit namin sa pagtupad po namin ng mga tungkulin.
Bago sila umuwi sa kani-kaniyang distrito, hinandugan sila ng isang musical program ng Iglesia Ni Cristo Production Company. Sa 3 araw na sila ay nagkasama-sama, sinangkapan sila ng mga karunungan, mga pagpapayo at gabay na magagamit nila sa patuloy na pagtupad ng kanilang mga tungkulin. Baon din nila ang hindi malilimutang karanasan at ang pagmamahal ng pamamahala ng iglesia upang laging ipagmalasakit ang mga kapatid sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo.
The challenges that the Iglesia Ni Cristo, the Church of Christ, faces are really worldwide type of challenges because the Church of Christ members are found in 168, if I'm not mistaken, different countries and territories. And we have members of the church coming from different cultures. We have also youth members growing up with different values around them, but with the understanding as well of what the Bible warns, that in the time before the end, the Bible calls the last days, it will be very difficult for people to be true Christians because there is an enemy in his fury, God's enemy, who doesn't want God's people obeying God's words. And when the enemy comes in like a flood, you can see how the different influences that surround God's people for people not to hold on to God's words. How many countries are there where you can see the divorce rate rising? How many different cultures are there? We can also see the problem of teen pregnancies or for different ideologies or beliefs that contradict the scriptures and yet being upheld by, for example, social media influencers. And because of all these different challenges, it's important that every single level of leadership in the church be aware of the problems the brethren face and equipped with God's message. So that's not only the worship service we have God's message taught to the members, but even in our Christian activities, that Word of God reinforced in different aspects of our life.
Mula po rito sa Quezon City, ako po si kapatid na Hazen Andagusen para sa Iglesia Ni Cristo News Network.